If you own a small law firm, then you are responsible for the duties of the chief financial officer. So, how do you do it? What goes through the mind of a great law firm CFO? Today, we're going to go through the 5 pillars of the CFO mindset and the questions you should be asking for each. Welcome to Capital Counsel, a weekly show designed to help law firm owners transform the way they view and manage their firm by teaching them how to develop a CFO mindset. Hi, Brian Learson here. We could spend all day going through all of the possible duties in a CFO's job description. Thankfully, we're not going to do that. Remember, being a CFO and having the CFO mindset has a lot less to do with what you do than it does with how you think. I encourage you to go back and watch or listen to episode 1, reintroducing you to your firm's chief financial officer. We're learning how to think like a CFO. So I've broken down the CFO mindset into 5 pillars that will help you as you think about your firm and your finances. These pillars are not necessarily sequential and they don't exist in isolation. A great law firm CFO will be able to apply all 5 of these perspectives. The first pillar is security. Here we ask, how can we make sure that the firm is able to continue to operate? This is the simplest and most basic of the 5 pillars, and this is the one also that business owners in general, as well as law firm owners, get hung up on. That's because this has to do with day-to-day survival. This is going to be involved with cash. Do we have enough of it? Do we have access to enough of it to meet our obligations? It covers compliance with professional, taxing, or other authorities. It also considers whether we have the insurance that we need to make sure that we are not unnecessarily exposed. This is an important pillar. However, it is not sufficient. Survival is necessary, but we have to be able to master 4 other pillars in order to have that CFO mindset. The second pillar is scope. Here's where we ask, what does the firm do now? This is the part where we think about, what are we doing to make money? What do we love to do? What do we hate to do? How do we charge for what we do? How much does it cost to do what we do? The CFO is in an excellent position to help here because the financial part of all of these is really important. However, it's not just dollars and cents. There's a lot going on here and we have to step back and look at the whole picture. The third pillar is strategy. Here we ask, what should the firm be doing next, in 5 years, beyond? This is where we move beyond just basic survival and we think like a real leader. The first 2 pillars were focused on the past and the present. Now we're able to look ahead. This is where we move from manager to leader. The 4th pillar is simplicity. Here we ask, how can we make sure that we maintain control as our firm grows and changes? As much as we might like to create the perfect profitable firm now and just ride it out until retirement, that of course is not realistic. The world grows and changes. Technology grows and changes. Our staff and our clients grow and change. We grow and change. As that happens, things tend to get more and more complex. Think about what would happen if you doubled the number of clients that you had today. What would that do to billing, collections, payroll, overhead expenses? Think of what it would do to everything that you do on a day-to-day basis. No one is more in tune with the growing complexity of an organization than the person who's responsible for the numbers. That's why the CFO is in the perfect position to help to manage complexity and to push towards simplicity. It's very easy to add layers of complexity, but it's very hard to go back once you do. That's why we have to be very careful as this happens. The CFO is in a perfect position to do this, to say, it's great that we're able to add more clients, to add another business line, to hire more people, to add a new department. However, here's what it's going to cost us. Here's what it's going to cost us financially. Here's what it's going to cost us in effort, in stress, in all of these factors that are going to contribute to making things more complex. There is power in simplicity. We want to make sure that if we are going to add a layer of complexity, that it's worth it and it's something that we are ready to do. The 5th pillar is shareholder value. Here we ask, how should the firm support the owner? This is the pillar that gets most often overlooked, especially by law firm owners who are pouring out their heart and soul into growing their law firm. You might even feel a little guilty asking what is in it for you. That's really common, but here we're going to really resist that mindset. I believe that there's really 4 ways that a firm impacts its owner. Financial, how you as the owner are compensated. Social, your standing with your family and your community. Temporal, how you're able to devote your time based on your values. And psychological, how your work and your firm affect your mental and, by extension, your physical health. Everything we discuss from here on out will relate to one or more of these 5 pillars. We're going to dig deeply into each of them as we develop that CFO mindset. Thank you for joining me on Capital Counsel. If you have questions, concerns, suggestions, drop them in the comment section. For free resources like my cash flow projection for law firms mini course, and for more info on designing your ideal law firm, check out Consilium-CFO.com.